everybody. My name is Anna, and welcome to the Washington Justice PenFed Fireside Chat, the first in our 2023 season. Today, I'm joined by our coaching staff for this season, and we're just going to chat about a couple of things about how they put together the team this year and how we're looking forward to Pro-Am this weekend. So maybe start with introduction from you guys. So maybe Amaze first.
Yeah, so I'm GetAmazed, the general manager and the head coach of the team.
Hello, my name is JMAC. I am assistant coach, Western Justice.
Yeah, and then we also have Danny, who's not here, unfortunately. As you can see, he's a man of many words. But no, he's not here with us today. He works with the team remotely from Canada and provides a lot of support for the team. But today we're just going to be chatting with Amaze and JMAC. So, yeah. All right. So I guess we want to start with how you guys put together tryouts for this team, because it's also you guys' first year with the organization. It's all the players' first year with the organization. So curious, how do you go about setting up tryouts in the first place for an OWL team?
So at the very beginning, like I had some rules, like about like what can I pick, what can I not pick. Like I had some direct lines, for example, and I was by myself at the very beginning. And then Danny asked me if he can help me. Like he just wanted to help me because he had no team, and I was like, why not? Like if you want to just help me, like why not? So I started make a list of like potential players from different regions. I start with Korea, Europe, and NA, and then I just start doing like tryouts, like make a list of who are the best players in EU, who are the best player in NA, who are the best player in Korea, and from then like I just started like having like a shorter list every single time. So yeah.
How does it work from the player side of things? So like if they're, LFT, they're looking for a team and they want to get involved in tryouts for an Overwatch League team, how does that look for players?
So we made a tweet saying like people can actually apply if they want to have a tryouts. So I had like maybe like 500 people like applying, but obviously I just can't pick like everyone. So I kind of like just pick like the players with potential, and I just reached out to them and invited them to a Discord, and we started tryouts.
Wow, 500. So you have to narrow that down already. I'm sure Danny helped with that. When did JMAC come in? And I know you guys have worked together before too. So
the thing is, like at the very beginning, we were supposed to be only Danny and me, and finally we managed to be able to get one more assistant. And I always wanted to work again with JMAC after like our season with Paris. So when I had the yes, I just DM'd him. I told him like, do you want to work with me again? He said yeah, and let's go. That's it.
Were you involved in tryouts or not yet? 트라이아웃 때 같이 있었어요?
First tryout, I don't count, but last tryout, I joined and I was together. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I guess when it comes to tryouts, right, you have people trying out from all over the world, from Korea, from Europe, from NA. Like you said, how does that work in terms of what are you looking for? Because some players are playing on ping, you're trying to balance the teams, but some people have different situations in terms of where they're located.
So at the very beginning, I knew that like it's gonna be a nightmare because of the ping. So EU streams were on EU server, NA stream on NA server, and Korean stream on Korean server. So during those tryouts, I was looking only at the mechanic part because they had no ping. And then when we start having less player, we couldn't like do any Korean full Korean lobby and stuff. So I had some mixed roster with Korean, NA, and EU. So I put everyone on 120 ping, I think, if I remember correctly. So I was mainly looking at the communication, the game sense, mainly the game sense, because you don't need ping to be able to have like the right positioning or like the right ultimate management or whatever. So I was looking at this mainly. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know how many people you're still considering at that point, but how does that look for you and I guess Danny and whoever? How do you keep track of, watching everybody in the tryout?
You just don't sleep. you work a lot and you watch a lot of POV because because you want to have like give a fair opportunity to everyone. I think it's really important. So yeah.
Yeah. All right. So let's go then to how did we end up at this team? So I'm sure at that point you do a lot of tryouts. How did you decide, oh, I want to pick this player for my team? So I guess do you remember who you ended up picking first, or you were the most
Yeah.
certain about first?
It was at the very beginning. It was Fitz and Iris. I wanted them like really really bad because I think they were like really amazing. We just couldn't like sign them. But they were like my first decision for sure. The thing is like when I started building the roster, I had a exact philosophy what I have in my mind, like what I want to build. I knew that like it's not gonna be like an easy season because we are new in the league again. Like we are just coming back, all of us. So I wanted to have like a group of players with like really nice mentality, really hungry, you know, like they want to go hard like every single day. They want to practice and be the best. They want to beat everyone, you know, like I really wanted this. And I think it's fine. It's hard to find that kind of players those days because a lot of them like speak like they want to go hard, but when it comes to hard work, they just don't show up. So yeah, I just wanted to have like that kind of players. So
Yeah, and
that's
how do you judge that? Because I know you're in tryouts, you're looking for mechanics, you're looking for game sense, but how do you judge their personality and their passion and drive to be part of the team?
So for example, most of the time you know them, like you know the players. Like when you're at the top level, you know the players, you know like their behavior, you know their attitude. People speak, you know, like teammates speak, ex-coach speak, you know, so you can judge from that. But I like to judge by myself too because anyone can say anything. And from what I've seen players working really hard. So yeah, that's how I made the roster.
Awesome. So I guess we can just run through the 6 guys we do have now, and I guess you can mention a little bit about why you picked them. So why don't we start with, say, Alpha Yi? What stood out to you in tryouts, and what made him make the cut?
Alpha Yi, there is we don't even need to talk about it because even the flex DPS in the during the tryouts said I have no chance. Like they all told me like obviously it's gonna be Alpha Yi. Like he's extremely good. He was like outstanding everyone. So it's just like common sense for me. Yeah,
Definitely. Okay, how about Flora? Flora was another pick. I know, like you said, you were looking for Fitz, but that didn't work out. So how did you end up with Flora?
so basically when we couldn't have Fitz, Alpha Yi recommended me like his former teammate, and I was like maybe he's just like voting for him because he's like his friend or whatever. So I told him just come try out, and he was like popping off. So he was like doing a really great job, like really high like clutch potential. Like that's really important in the league, in my opinion. And yeah, he's really good. So that's why.
How about Ben? How about Ben Best?
Okay, so I know like so many people talk about my pick about Ben because we are French and friends. But the thing is like I said, I had my philosophy when I built the roster, and he's the perfect man for that. I know that like whatever happened, he will work super hard. During official, he will lead like the fight. Like he will make sure like everyone go hard. So I think it's really important to have like someone like him in the team.
And then how about Mir is the other half of the tank line? How did you end up choosing Mir?
Miro just can play anything. That's like the good part. And we are only 6, and who knows, like maybe a player can get sick. And having a player like Miro allow you to like if there is an emergency, he can play like any role, you know. And also his off-tank character, like his Doom, Zarya, like he's really inside on it. So yeah, I think he bring a lot, and he's really smart. So when we do VOD and stuff, he give like really nice feedback sometimes.
Yeah, so he can kind of fill in for any of the missing holes, especially in a small roster like 6. How did you end up picking FD?
I would say the exact same way as Ben. I didn't know like who I can trust really like for the main support role. I know that FD is like really hungry since like Shock, like when he was playing for Shock, and I wanted him like to get back to the league and fight for his career, you know. And in terms of mechanics, like he's extremely good. Game sense, same thing. I think he got like a really high potential, and he wanna work so hard, and he's working like really hard. And honestly, like I'm really proud of my decision on him because I know there is many good main supports, but yeah, I think I did the right choice.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And then last person on the roster is Teru, also someone who you chose a little bit later because didn't work out with Iris. How did you end up with Teru?
Say like a little bit like the same thing as Flora. Alpha just told me like you should try out this guy, and for flex support I had like many good potential like possibilities, but Theo was like way different, and I really like it because the way he play is like super aggressive, and I think playing super aggressive is like the best way to win fights and games. And like he's really smart about the game. Like I really like how smart he is. He also have like a really good English, so it helps in games with like Korean speaker. So yeah,
Yeah, so you're saying he has a very different play style than other
Yeah.
flex supports.
really different.
Wow, great. Do you have any additional comments? Like why did we pick certain players? Any other thoughts you want to say?
I don't have many thinking because I come team
Mm-hmm.
player amazed choice or player. So I don't have many thinking.
Uh-huh.
I just believe amaze.
Mhm. That's great. So definitely, I want to ask maybe, like, because you have a lot of returning players, a lot of players who maybe didn't have the best results last season, people who got a lot to prove right this season. Like, does that come as like any sort of pressure to you, to the team?
No, not really. I think the pressure is on the side on the enemies. Like when I was in Paris, I was seen as like the dark horse with my team, like the team that like underdog, and I really love that. Like I love being underdog. And with our team, I think nobody expects us. Like nobody really knows like how we perform. So I think there is no pressure for us. Like we have so much to prove, nothing to lose. Everyone will go hard. I think it's also like a little bit like the last chance for many of us. I think because we got dropped from the Overwatch League and now we are back. You know. So everyone is on the same mindset. Like we really want to go hard and work, like outwork everyone and practice really hard to get the best, to be the best. So yeah, I don't think there's any pressure.
Yeah, definitely nothing to lose when everyone's underestimating you, right?
Mhm.
Wanted to ask a little bit about, I guess, any like obstacles or challenges you see with this team, and how you're planning to overcome it. I guess one that comes to mind is that obviously we have 2 French players, we have 3 Korean players, none of whose first language is English. Mir's first language is also not English, but he's a little better. But is communication ever a problem, and how are you working to solve that?
So yeah, the language barrier is really tough sometimes, but we find a way. Like we just like set up some keywords, and now, for example, like you know kimchi, the Korean food.
Uh-huh.
So kimchi is push. Bosam is no, sorry, Bosam is push. Kimchi is bait. You know, like we set up some words. You know, like this. Everyone is just a little bit trolling. You know, with some words. So we find ways like to always be able to at least communicate in game. And when we go out for a restaurant, we just use Papago and that's it.
That's a lot of fun using like Korean foods as keywords. That's fun. I guess we have some other questions from the audience who are watching. So I'll get to my last question first and then take some audience questions. So the last question is about the prom is this weekend. So as a team, as a coach, what are your goals and like what are you looking to get out of this? What are you looking to prove?
I think whatever happened, our goal will always be like be the best. So I think like on every other of my team, like it's always we always have to play like it's a final. So we will just play like every game like it's a final, and if we win, we'll win. If we lose, we just learn from it, and that's it. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna go to the audience questions now. Maybe we'll have JMAC do this question. One person asks, what is JMAC and GetAmazed roles on the team? Who does strategy and how do you coach the team? 그래서 스크림 때는 누가 피드백을 하는지 그리고 누가 그 전략을 짰는지 이런 역할을 뭐라?
Yes. in-game feedback, many talk amazed, but Danny and me talk together because we thinking together and we talking how about this in like plan or game style or map. Danny and me just thinking and making and give him. So and always give talk to player.
Okay. So GetAmazed does the feedback, and then you guys are working on strategies and setting up game plans. That's amazing. Hope that answers the question. Another question we have is, how long have they been in the Overwatch scene, and how did they get into Overwatch? Is that about the players or the coaches? The coaches. Okay. So when did you get into the Overwatch scene?
Me, I started like I think 6 years ago. Yeah, 6 years ago I started as a player, and yeah, I was a pro player, and now I'm coach and GM.
Awesome. That's like the beginning of Overwatch. 언제부터 오버워치를 경력을 하셨는지.
Elementary school. My want dream is pro gamer because Korea TV many show esports like StarCraft. So in night I just keep watching StarCraft match. So I think, oh, job is very good. I want this, but my game sense is not good. But because I going middle school, my game tier is very low. But sometimes I play Overwatch after. Oh, I think I can pro player this game. So because I don't know, my mechanic skill is very good in this game. So okay, now timing is very good for me in my life. So I tried. Yeah.
Yeah. So both of them started as pro players and now are doing coaching and managerial roles. And then the next question is, Fitz and Iris confirmed? Not confirmed. They were an option at one point for tryouts, but it didn't work out. And we have the wonderful team we have now. Let's see. Who do you think is the best player in the league / players to look out for this season?
I think so many players say Propa is good because last season he made good performance and many clutch in match. But I think just my thing, best player is Shu because he played many long time in Korea Apex match, but he play now. He played many long season, so I think he's very good.
That's amazing. How about you?
Me, I will just go with the easy option. I will just say proper, I think.
Just proper.
Yeah, just proper.
Just proper.
Not on ping.
Definitely. We'll look forward to the win over the Shock when that happens. One more question we have. Favorite food?
You start.
My favorite. First, I don't have favorite food before, but I'm living in China because I need to play China Contenders League team LG Huyap. But some Chinese player asking me, "You want to go hot pot?"
Okay.
After I eat, after hot pot is my favorite food.
Oh wow, they have a lot of hot pot in Korea now these days too. How about you?
Me, it's a Lebanese thing. It's shish taouk. Nobody know about it, but it's really good.
What kind of food is it though?
It's chicken with some spice, barbecue. It's so good.
Can you make it or?
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
Just need the spice. Yeah, I can. Yeah.
All right, awesome. Do we have any other questions? All right. Anything you guys want to say to the fans watching, or anything about the season coming up?
Yeah, just thank you for watching us. Thank you for supporting us, and we will try our best.
마지막 소감.
Thank you for the fans.
Awesome. All right. Well, I think that's all we have for today. We'd like to thank PenFed again for bringing this fireside chat to the fans. Thank you to all of you for showing up and listening, and look forward to the next ones, because there are going to be more of these coming later in the season, maybe with some different guests. So keep your eyes peeled, and thank you for tuning in.